And Leeds have two more. Zoumana Kamara is a 24-year-old defender whose career so far has taken in Saint-Etienne, Marseille, Lens, and even a short spell at Inter Milan. And Lamine Sacco, who was born in Senegal but became a French citizen, has been capped by France at under-21 level. He's described by Peter Reid as another Harry Kewell type who'll play on the left of midfield today but can play up front. Alan Wiley is the man in charge, just as he was for the corresponding fixture last season, which Newcastle won 3-0, their third consecutive victory on this ground. In fact, they've won on 6 of their last 8 visits to Ellen Road. But remember, Leeds have an even prouder record, the only club in Premiership history who've never lost on the opening weekend of a new season. Can, I wonder, they preserve that record today? Boos for Lee Bowyer, despite that friendly banner that we saw as the teams ran out. Gary Speed, another former Ellen Road favourite, of course. Bernard for Newcastle in their change strip of all black today. Peter Reid says that Leeds can't possibly play any worse than they did in pre-season games, and he's warned that they'll be badly beaten unless there's a big improvement in attitude. Had a fallout with Viduka, but says since then his attitude has been excellent on the training ground. Viduka just misses out on his first touch as Speed cleared the ball ahead of him. Sacco brought down. Welcome to the Premiership. He's quick. Good left foot, good crosser of the ball. Aaron Hughes catching him then. And Sacco in possession again. Johnson, Smith. Good early build-up here from the home side. Sacco, who many of the supporters won't have seen much of. He did figure in a couple of the pre-season games, but mainly as a striker alongside Viduka or Smith. And he's won Leeds' first throw in a good position here. Smith's layoff back to Matteo. Johnson. Smith with the first effort. Peter Reid says it's going to be a big season for Alan Smith. He wants all the enthusiasm and aggression that we know he possesses, but he wants it channeled properly.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's know about Alan Smith's strengths, but there's also a lot of weaknesses there. I think just looking at some of the notes beforehand, sent off 9 times already in his career, which is incredible statistic when you think how young he is, but I think everybody's aware of his combative quality. He's just got to channel those in the right direction.
Here's Bellamy finding Robert. Frenchman a bit short with that ball. Sacco again, seeing plenty of the ball early on in his Premiership debut. Smith's layoff to Matteo, who captains Leeds United. That's a good ball too for Viduka. Took it well at full stretch. Not easy. Closed down by a former teammate, Woodgate. And Newcastle win it back comfortably in the end. A warm day, but nothing like as hot as the pre-season temperatures and the training temperatures these players have endured. Robert with the first effort for the visitors.
There's no surprises there to see Robert have a strike on goal. I think he had the most strikes last season during the course of the Premier League, and we talked about really midfield players getting more goals for Newcastle United. It's a real surprise that he doesn't get more, because he does pack a punch with that left foot. That time woeful.
In 11 previous seasons in the Premiership, Leeds have won their first game 5 times, drawn the other 6, and they haven't even let a goal in on the last 5 opening day fixtures. Marlon Robert by Wilcox, playing on the right of midfield rather than his more accustomed role on the left to accommodate Sacco.
I just noticed Peter Reid's up, obviously. I think he's particularly happy. The last 2 balls that have gone from back to front from Newcastle haven't really been channeled by the 2 Leeds United centre-backs of Radaby or Kamara, and I think he'll be hoping they don't stand off Bellamy and Shearer and let them have it all on their own.
Shearer let that one run, presumably got the shout from Woodgate behind him. Good control by Viduka and an excellent layup. Sacco's got pace and good crossing ability. Matteo. Johnson. Kelly, now his 13th season at Ellen Road, their longest-serving player. Header away by Hughes, brought in instead of Andy Griffin at right back because of his aerial strength. Smith. Closed down quickly by Woodgate. Two old pals. Bernard making it difficult for the England international, who is fouled by the Frenchman.
He did very well, didn't he? I think there was nowhere for him to go, Alan Smith, and he just really conned the officials into giving him a free kick.
Taken quickly, played in by Morris, and then away by Woodgate. Wilcox. Dangerous ball, Sacco on the back post. Came off Hughes for the first corner for Leeds United.
They've been quite nice and neat and tidy, haven't they, Leeds United? This start, they've been bright, they've been very sensible about the approach to this game. They need to make it competitive, they need to put Newcastle United under pressure.
Lucas Radebe has joined Viduka in the box. Kamara, the other centre-back, has stayed in his own half, just over Radebe's head. Wilcox finds Sacco. Clever ball in. Hughes with the clearance. Smith. And given first to react. He had a magnificent game in midweek against Partizan Belgrade, the Irish international. Dyer, named in the full England squad for the match against Croatia next week. Speed, who will represent Wales as well. Bernard. Well, I think the gentleman welcoming back Lee Bowyer was probably in the minority, judging by the response of most Leeds fans. They don't seem to feel the same way about Woodgate, however. Bernard caught by Smith.
Certainly been difficult, hasn't it, for Peter during the course of pre-season. You know, there's been a lot of discontent around the football club, and he's really trying to unite everybody. And I think that's one of his strengths as a manager. You know, he does bring together people well.
Shearer's header just in behind Bellamy, cleared by Kelly. This is Hughes for Newcastle, who were third last season after finishing in the bottom half of the Premiership in 4 of the previous 5 campaigns. It was their highest position since they were runners-up 6 years ago. Speed did well. Bowyer takes over and did very well. Dyer. Here's Gary Speed again. Won a championship medal in his time here 11 years ago. Played over 300 games for Leeds. And he has gained Newcastle their first corner. Speed himself, a real threat in the air. Woodgate, Shearer, of course. Referee saw an infringement, foul by Woodgate.
That was a correct decision. I think Alan Wilder got absolutely spot on. He was in a perfect position. Jonathan Woodgate just leaning on camera as the ball came in from Robert.
Newcastle finished with 69 points last season, 2 ahead of Chelsea in 4th, 9 adrift of the runners-up Arsenal. And if they're going to improve this season, they'll certainly have to do better away from home. They only won 6 matches on opponents' territory last season, compared to 15 out of 19 wins at home. Sacco. Wilcox. Just caught there, no foul though. Kelly. In again to Sacco, who can head the ball too, by the looks of things. The Leeds fans impressed by his early contribution.
Yeah, I think that'll help him as well, getting the ball so much in the early 7 or 8 minutes. I think that'll give him a chance to settle, get his confidence, get on the ball, and do what he does very well, and that's going at defenders.
Alan Smith. Don't know how on earth he retained possession there. Given to Newcastle's rescue again. Olivier Bernard. Bellamy already on the run, just a bit too strong, and he was offside anyway.
Well, I talked about one of the features, I think, of how Leeds United deal with the runs of Kieran Dyer. And as we can see in that shot, Seth Johnson is the player that is designated to mark Dyer. Whenever that ball has gone into Kieran Dyer's feet, so far Johnson has been snapping at his heels. And we haven't really seen the trademark surges from midfield of Kieran Dyer.
Sacco getting up well. This is Bernard. Fellow Frenchman Robert gives it him back. Speed. Controlled possession by Newcastle. Woodgate, another who had a splendid performance against Partizan Belgrade in the Champions League qualifier. Kelly. Verduca making the run, but Woodgate with the firm header clear. Camara. Wilcox on for Smith, but out of play. Strangely enough, going back to Leeds' amazing opening day record, the last club to beat them in the first match of a new season was Newcastle 13 years ago. A 5-2 win at St James's Park. Mickey Quinn got 4 of them. Hughes. Booze will tell you it's Boya. Good tackle by Radovic. Not a bad effort from that range by Robert, and Robinson had to hold on to that. Shearer was waiting for any spillage.
Oh, we said that he does like a strike on goal. Robert with a very, very clever nutmeg on Seth Johnson to get himself into that position.
There's Johnson. The ball for Sacco was perfect, but offside. The home fans certainly believe that was a close call.
Well, I think it was close. I think he's a little bit unfortunate, but it's an excellent run, you know, because he knows where he wants the ball to play, and perhaps just a little bit earlier. But that is a very, very tight decision from the referee's assistant.
Former French under-21 international Sacco, on a year's loan, remember, from Marseille. He scored 5 times in 29 games for them in the French league last season.
Well, Peter knows that he hasn't got money available to go out and sign players for reasonable money, never mind big money, so he knows he's got to try and pick 1 or 2 players up, perhaps use the loan system.
Here's Bellamy. Robert ahead of him in space. Shearer on the far post. Pulled it behind him. Shearer's furious.
What a great chance. And you can understand why Alan Shearer would be furious. Unfortunately, I don't think Laurent Robert's got anything in his mind when he gets himself into that position. Because if he knew that Alan Shearer was there at the far post and no one marking him, then you would have backed the Frenchman to pick him out.
Smith. Seth Johnson. Leeds 15th last season after finishing in the top 5 of the Premiership in each of the previous 5 campaigns. It was their lowest position for 10 years, and of course it was the penultimate game before they could be certain of their Premiership status. That win against Arsenal at Highbury that also handed the title to Manchester United. Kelly gets there ahead of Robert. Now Wilcox for Leeds. Sacco the target again. Brilliant. Good ball in. Verduca. Smith.
Oh, what a chance. And he knows it as well. It really wasn't amongst the goals last season, Alan Smith, but it was an early chance. But it's this man that really has been in scintillating form at the opening of this game. He really has played superbly well in this opening period. He really toyed and teased with this Newcastle United back 4, and he's put in a delightful cross that Verduca does well to muscle around the direction of Alan Smith.
3 debutants in this Leeds side, and there's no doubt who's made the biggest impression so far. Kieran Dyer. Speed. Robert. Good football. Bellamy. Bernard joins the attack. Shearer's peeled away to the far post, but the cross stopped by Kelly. Corner, the outcome.
Well, he got there in the end, didn't he, Gary Kelly? I think it looked as if he'd done the initial job very well indeed, but full credit to Bernard. He stuck to his task. It was one side of corner.
O'Brien has come forward, number 5 there, along with Woodgate. Good clearance by Kamara. Boya. It was a tough ball. It was brilliantly controlled by Robert. Now Bellamy. Good pace. Johnson concedes another corner.
Well, he's always a threat, isn't he, Craig Bellamy? When he faces you up, 1v1, got great pace. Loves to get in behind defenders.
Still the same threats for Leeds to deal with. Gary Speed, far side. Shearer making his run now. Woodgate and O'Brien. And it came to Boya.
That's a half chance, isn't it? Nothing more than that. Came to him on his left foot. I think he would have preferred it on his right. Alan Smith just gets the header in near post. Not cleared it far enough, but that's a difficult one to take.
Scored over 50 goals for Leeds in his time here. New name on the Leeds subs bench today, Aaron Lennon. If he comes on at 16 years and 4 months, he would become the youngest player in Premiership history. Foul given away by Gary Speed. Climbing all over Wilcox. Radaby. Sacco's header finds Smith. Great ball! What a clever effort.
You know, he knew exactly what he was trying to do there, Alan Smith. There's nothing really fluky or unlucky about that. You know, he's very, very close to converting this. But once again, look how well Sacco gets up there. You know, far on the left-hand side, excellent control. And that isn't far away. And I think Shay Given just off his line enough to be a little bit worried where that was dropping over his head.
Shearer wins the header. Away by Kamara. Gary Speed gives it back to the Frenchman. Now Smith. Wilcox gave Woodgate a hard time, but it's a goal kick. Jonathan Woodgate, over 5 years, a Leeds United player, made almost 150 appearances.
I talked about the job that how important the job was going to be for Leeds United if Alan Smith and Martin Viduka got into the game very early. And I think they've been a threat. I think both O'Brien and Woodgate have known that they've been in the game early on. Smith in particular has backed into players very well, used his strength, been a little bit unfortunate with that lob, and very nearly went in behind Shay Given.
Robert. Given away to Jody Morris. Woodgate did well. Oh, Morris, a strong challenge on Robert. Here's Dyer. Hughes joins in. On to Boya. Dyer. I don't need to tell you when Boya's got it. The crowd do my job for me. Typically determined challenge by Alan Shearer, but safely through to Paul Robinson.
So far, really, the Newcastle hitman, he's just had bits and pieces, hasn't he, Alan Shearer? Got an awful lot of service to work from.
Smith was nudged by Woodgate.
It's a little bit fortunate, I think, Jonathan Woodgate. It's a clear push. The referee decided to give Smith the advantage.
Smith again, looking very lively. Kelly. Shearer. Speed came out with the ball and then a lovely pass, and he was caught as he played the ball wide to Boya. Referee might come back and have a look at that. On it goes from Bellamy to Kieran Dyer. Penalty surely. It is.
Well, for me, that's 10 out of 10 for the referee, Alan Wiley. He could have quite easily have blown for that tackle by Jason Wilcox on Gary Speed. Instead, he just allowed the play to continue. He had a look at it. He thought, no, Newcastle have got the advantage. They broke at speed. We talked about Kieran Dyer. There's the tackle. It's a little bit high. You can see there's men over here, and just look at the burst from Kieran Dyer. He waits and waits and waits, good ability from Craig Bellamy to spot him, and as soon as he nudges that ball past Lucas Radebe, clear contact, clear penalty, and what a great chance for Newcastle to go ahead.
The skipper, Alan Shearer, will take the kick. He scored 17 goals in 17 games against Leeds, more than he's ever scored against any other Premiership club. Can he make it 18 in 18 and give Newcastle a lead? Yes, he can! Was there ever any doubt?
Well, I said up to now he's only had bits and pieces, Alan Shearer, and the first real chance is from the penalty spot, and he puts it away with great aplomb. And really, you don't expect anything less, do you, from the great man? What an incredible record he's got of scoring goals in the Premier League.
The Premiership's record goal scorer starts another season in familiar fashion. Kelly looking for Viduka as Leeds try to hit back straight away. Kelly again. Smith. Free kick for Leeds, who can consider themselves perhaps a little unfortunate to be behind. But there was no doubt about the validity of the penalty award. Jason Wilcox with a free kick. Curled it in towards Viduka. Now it's broken to Robert, who was caught badly by Wilcox. A very rash challenge that. Surely the referee's got to take action here.
I think it's just a clumsy tackle, isn't he? I think it's born out of frustration by Jason Wilcox. He's arguing he feels perhaps Robert went to ground far too early, but you know, Jason Wilcox was fortunate really with the tackle on Gary Speed, but they did get punished, of course, from the penalty by Alan Shearer. But this time I think Alan Wiley had a good look at it and enough time to think about it, deliberate, and now it's a yellow card.
First caution of the game for Jason Wilcox, not the way he wanted to celebrate his 100th appearance for Leeds United.
Well, Robert's clever enough really just to let the ball go and ride the tackle from Jason Wilcox, and it is slightly late and it's earned him a caution. So really he's had the double whammy, hasn't he, in the space of a couple of minutes.
Still discussing the incident with the Frenchman. I would describe that as a typical winger's tackle myself.
How would you know? You've never been a winger.
I've watched you often enough.
Well, I think this is fantastic advantage here. You know, there's the ball, the challenge there. You know, Jason Wilcox is high, but Alan Wiley feels that there's enough about that move to allow Newcastle possession. Bright play from Craig Bellamy. It's weighted to absolute perfection in the path of Kieran Dyer, and that's the first time in the opening 20 minutes or so that we've seen Kieran Dyer have a burst from midfield to a forward position, and he wins a penalty.
Well, there were some highly contentious penalties awarded yesterday. Nothing controversial about that one, as Viduka gives it away. Camara. Gary Speed on to Shearer. Camara wins it back and finds Smith. Wilcox looking for the run from Sacco, who was unlucky.
You can see what he was trying to do. He knew that Shea Given had advanced once more, and he was just trying to lob the ball over the goalkeeper. And it's a great shame, really, the goal against Leeds United, because they had started well enough.
Morris finds Sacco again. Now Viduka! 1-1!
Well, I think that's a deserved equaliser. I really do. I'll just say now, hard done by Leeds United would have been feeling to concede the penalty, and then they've got straight back into the game, and what a crucial time to score. Much to the delight of that man. He might not be showing it, but surprise, surprise, gets who's involved in the move. Sacco does brilliantly to take the ball down initially, and then great brightness just to thread the ball into the path of Mark Viduka. And there's the player. He might have had a few arguments and bust-ups with the manager pre-season, but he's a top goal scorer last year with 22 goals. And he set himself on course to be the top goal scorer this year with the opener for Leeds.
Well, this is traditionally a high-scoring fixture. and no reason to suppose that trend won't continue. Viduka, top scorer, in fact, in each of his 3 seasons at Ellen Road, has brought them level. Robert. One back by Radaby. Seth Johnson. Wilcox, good ball. Smith. Looking again for Viduka, and given with a splendid interception back to Sacco. Good tackle then by O'Brien. Harry Speed. Shearer. Oh, wonderful control on the chest. And gets it back from Robert. Foul by Jody Morris.
He's clever though, isn't he, Alan Shearer? How many times has he won free kicks like that? It's such an important time, and he knows it's an important time for his side because they've just conceded a goal. And now they need to settle again. Newcastle, they need to get some rhythm about their game.
Speed. The layoff by Bowyer too strong, or is it? Bellamy's won it back off Robinson. Well, I think Bellamy's probably the only player who would have kept chasing that lost cause.
Well, he's not happy, but I actually think that ball went out of play. And, you know, Paul Robinson, 1 or 2 people may well argue he's been very complacent here. You've rightly identified it. You know, Bellamy does keep going. He's got a lot of pace, and that ball, very, very close. Very close. It's a referee's assistant that flags. It's a very belated flag.
Hold of the ball across the line, of course, is the law. Bellamy again. Well, he thought it was either going to be a throw or even a free kick. He's wrong.
It was interesting watching him the other night against Partizan Belgrade, the amount of provocation. And he did stand firm the majority of the time. He did pick up a yellow card. I'm sure that's one thing Bobby Robson would have instilled in him during pre-season. You know, he really needs to keep his cool more.
Radaby. At every opportunity, Leeds look to get the ball out left to Sacco. Why not? He started really well in his first Premiership game.
It's been a good outlet, hasn't he? And he only really joined his teammates about 10 days ago, and certainly made a big impression on the Leeds United fans in this opening period.
Push in the back by O'Brien on Viduka. Leeds just waiting for Lucas Radaby to make his way forward. A threat, although he's never scored a Premiership goal. And Viduka doing really well to evade O'Brien. Now, did that cross the line? The Newcastle fans believe it did, but the linesman's not interested. Matteo playing it in, and away by Woodgate. Camara, Sacco, Johnson. Radaby still forward from the earlier free kick. Alan Shearer for Newcastle. A great-looking ball for Bellamy. And still Bellamy. And still Bellamy. Well, he had Robert perfectly placed on the far post, but went for goal himself.
Well, very nearly got caught out, didn't they, Leeds United, through the pace of Craig Bellamy. But a fantastic challenge there from Alan Smith. I really think he started the game superbly well. You know, there's a lot of talk, speculation about him leaving the football club at the moment, but in the form he's in at the moment, no one will want to see him go.
Shame there for Viduka. He'd really done well to hold the ball up, then failed to find Wilcox. Real edge to this game. Hugely enjoyable opening 28 minutes or so. And despite selling Harry Kewell and Olivier Decour in the summer, Leeds, remember, are still over £70 million in debt. Frightening thought that they owe more money than Chelsea have spent in the summer. Hughes. Bowyer. Dyer. The man brought down, remember, for the Newcastle penalty, and he finds the scorer from the spot, Shearer. Bellamy's offside here.
That's better defending from Leeds United. You know, they were aware that Craig Bellamy's always looking to go in behind, so they all stepped up. Well, talking about back fours, I just wonder a couple of occasions really with Newcastle United when at times perhaps that they could just step up a little bit more. There's 2 or 3 occasions where Sakho has got in behind, perhaps on that occasion maybe not, but there may well have been claims that did Sakho handle the ball? I don't think so, but he was bright enough to make sure that that ball just went into the path of Mark Viduka, and Viduka did the rest, and did it superbly well.
He's committed the foul here. And certainly in the opening half an hour, Leeds are playing a lot better than they evidently did in pre-season. They failed to win once in 6 games before the league campaign got underway, and that included matches against third division sides in Hull and York. Peter Reid was very angry, threatened big changes. Of course, he's got no money. He's had to deal in free transfers and loans since he took over here in March after 5 months out of work following his dismissal by Sunderland. And the man now controlling the purse strings, Professor John Mackenzie, the new chairman who replaced Peter Ridsdale in that role.
I think one thing he'll be delighted with, and the Leeds United fans will be delighted, is there seems to be a togetherness about the football team at the moment. And one of the things, you know, when you're trying to get through troubled times, it's about spirit, it's about teamwork, it's about staying together as a unit, as a group of people. And you know, that's what Peter's got to try and work on in the opening few months of this season. You know he can't go out and spend money.
Robert's corner into the near post. That was dangerous. Went through a whole group of players to Bellamy. Oh, yeah. Well, Shearer thought he'd kept it in play, but he was wrong. Goal kick. Alan Shearer, who made his 600th appearance in club football in the UEFA match, or UEFA Champions League match, against Partizan Belgrade.
I think he'll be delighted with his debut so far. You know, he hasn't done an awful lot wrong, shown good pace. And I think it's important that he just does the simple things and the simple things well. And we're hoping that that partnership between Camara and Lucas Ridibi will hold firm against 2 extremely talented forwards in the shape of Bellamy and Shearer.
Foul by Woodgate on Smith. Wilcox into the heart, looking for Smith in the centre of that melee of players. Great ball out by Given, wasn't it? Straight to the feet of Boya. Dyer has got forward. Splendid header away by Lucas Radaby.
Well, as you rightly said, that all stemmed from Shea Given. Absolutely fabulous hard volley. He's pinged it all of 40-50 yards to Lee Bowyer on the right-hand side. And very nearly getting a goal from it. And that just shows you the advantage of a keeper that can distribute the ball very well with either hand or foot.
Well, he could have been forgiven for not wanting to take corners today. Wilcox gets it away. Bernard. Robert. Shearer was the target, easily cleared by Radaby. Johnson's lost out to Gary Speed. Handball was the shout, nothing given. Lee Bowyer. Smith's header was perfect. Wilcox. He's very swift, Bernard. And Wilcox brings him down. He's got to be slightly careful, Jason Wilcox. Got away with one challenge. Got caution for the next one.
Just again, frustration, isn't it, that Jason Wilcox? He knows he hasn't got the pace to go past Olivier Bernard. He knows, really, he's not on his favoured left-hand side of the field. You know, he's having to do a job on the right for Leeds United today, just to try and give them some balance. And one thing that he does do very well, though, he's very sensible about the way he plays, Jason Wilcox. You know, he adds good shape to the side.
Shearer, great header on. Bellamy. Robert. And it's broken kindly for Leeds. Wilcox given away. Bernard. Late challenge by Johnson. I think he's going to become the second caution of the game.
Well, it's welcome back to Ellen Road, Lee. He's certainly dumped unceremoniously to the ground, and I don't think he can have any complaints about that. Seth Johnson, we know that he's a competitive player. That's certainly an area where Peter Reid will want to make sure that he doesn't lose that from his game. I think there's a huge amount of contact there. He's just late, really, and again, it's a player just trying to ride the tackle, but it's more intent than anything else that has resulted in Seth Johnson getting a yellow card.
Less than 10 minutes to half-time. 1-1, very even match. Robert's free kick driven in. Well, that was an unusual effort. Gary Speed, I think, got a clout on the head there.
That was a fantastic ball, wasn't it, from Robert? The free kick, and it's Dominic Matteo and Gary Speed that go up to challenge, and I think we've seen over the course of many years the ability of Gary Speed to get into those areas and to get his head onto situations like that and score goals, but this time it's head-to-head.
And I believe the referees have been advised this season that players needing treatment for head injuries ought to leave the field before play continues. That's what he's telling Gary Speed, who obviously doesn't know about that new tweak to that particular law. They're saying, well, hang on, he's all right, he doesn't need to go off, but as I say, that's what referees have been told to do. It is silly, it is frustrating, it's not Mr. Wiley's fault.
No. But you should be able to manage the situation as you see fit. Clearly, he's looking at both players, Alan Wiley, and thinking there's not a huge amount wrong with either. They've both had treatment, but to run off the field now and then to run 20, 30 yards back on the field, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, it just holds up everything.
And it was meant, I gather, to save time wastage when it was brought in by someone who clearly didn't know what he was doing.
There's your first rant of the season, anyway.
Yeah, we've nearly reached half-time. What did you expect? There's a great-looking ball for Smith.
He's been a threat, hasn't he, Alan Smith? You know, I think when he controls himself in the fashion that we've seen in this first half so far, then I think he's as good as anybody around in that area of the field. It's when he goes and does daft things like tackle people very, very late and gets himself red-carded, then that's where people look at him and think, yeah, there's a big question mark. But so far, so good for Leeds.
Smith, Wilcox. Kelly with the ball over the top. Sacco is offside. Well, I'm sure I hardly need to remind you, there's quite a tasty fixture that Jody Morris would love to have been playing in today for his old club, Chelsea. They visit Liverpool. A very different-looking Chelsea to Morris's day. Live on Sky later today. Bellamy. Bowyer. Stabbed away by Morris. Dyer wins it back for Newcastle. Now Robert. Johnson. Sacco's now moved in from the left. And lost out. Robert, he can hit them from here.
That's a good save from Paul Robinson. I don't think he really sees that until it's very, very late indeed. I think as a defender, in his way, but we've talked about it already. Robert does love to have a strike on goal, and unfortunately there's only Alan Shearer following up.
More abuse for Bowyer, but a very well flighted corner in the end. Bowyer couldn't find the head of Shearer. Newcastle have lost just once in 10 previous visits to Ellen Road in the Premiership. That was 4 years ago. 6 wins and 3 draws, their record. Robert, Shearer. Knocked away for a throw by Camara. Bernard. Paducah's challenge, nothing wrong with it. Throw in to Leeds United, and Bernard and Wilcox get involved in a little bit of pushing and shoving. Good header from Woodgate, and then from Radaby. Kelly. Taken well by Smith, who's been outstanding in the first half. The commentator's curse strikes again.
It's a little bit unfortunate. He's just waiting and waiting and waiting until Jason Wilcox can support him. But I had some fascinating battles all round the field. I talked in the build-up to the game about the spine of the side, but you know, when you look down the middle, you know, there's great little intriguing battles between centre forwards and centre backs. And I think also the 4 midfield players, you know, you look at Morris and Seth Johnson for Leeds, and Gary Speed and Kieran Dyer for Newcastle United. That's been an also good battle to watch.
Unlike Leeds, Newcastle had a very satisfying pre-season, including reaching the final of the inaugural Age Group Cup, of course, where they lost on penalties to Chelsea. Johnson with the ball, looking for the speed of Sacco. Oh, well played! Now then, an interesting decision for the referee to make. Free kick, I think, right on the edge of the box.
Well, it's certainly obstruction by Jonathan Woodgate. He does cut across Sacco. We talked already about the pace of the Frenchman, and he gets himself into a wonderful position. Again, in behind this Newcastle United back 4. And Jonathan Woodgate covering around. This will be an interesting decision. I think it might just be a yellow card for Jonathan Woodgate. He is the last defender. He is coming across Sacco, but it is a potential goal-scoring situation.
Caution it is. The first Newcastle player yellow carded today. 2 already from the home side, Wilcox and Johnson. Viduka and Jody Morris, the 2 Leeds players over the ball. Looks as though it's being lined up for a shot by the big Aussie. That's pretty much his view of it. Viduka it is. Delicate rather than powerful. Sacco back in. And it comes to Johnson. The referee's whistle's already gone. Free kick to Newcastle.
That was a real battle, wasn't it? In there, and I think Jonathan Woodgate just cutting across the path of Sacco, but you can see that pace and good strength as well that he held defenders off. But well, Jonathan Woodgate, you know, we've seen time and time again, haven't we, where defenders being the last player between attacker and goal-scoring situations. And that certainly was the case there.
But Mr. Wiley's got everything right so far. In my opinion, one of the better Premiership officials. Dyer. Shearer, lovely layoff. It was a cheeky effort, and Robinson was alert and had to be to deny what would have been the most unpopular goal of the day.
Well, he just had a rollicking for Craig Bellamy for not giving him the ball, Lee Bowyer, but it was a good attempt, wasn't it? You know, we have seen him. I remember one game that we did, Leeds against West Bromwich Albion last season at the Hawthorns. He scored a fabulous goal when he curled one into the top corner. Very similar in many respects to the attempt that he tried to put past Paul Robinson there.
Woodgate knew he was not going to get an easy ride from Viduka. He knows all about him. Into the final minute. of an entertaining first half. Wilcox. Smith.
3 attempts for Alan Smith, and certainly not to register a goal so far, but his overall performance has been one of the features of this first half. But this is the opportunity for Lee Bowyer, and we talked about it. We've seen it last season where he's got the ability to curl it towards the top corner. Paul Robinson in the end made it look very easy, didn't he?
Newcastle with the most goal attempts on target. Bernard. Bellamy kept going, but Viduka took the ball off him. Kelly finding Smith, who's all alone, waiting for support. Did well. Viduka, free kick. For the earlier challenge on Alan Smith.
Looking at Bellamy and Smith, there's been a few yellow cards between them, haven't they, over the years?
A couple of minutes of time will be added. Kelly's free kick aimed at Smith. Now, who did that come off? Smith thinks it's going to be a corner. He's going to be disappointed. Over the head of Kelly, Robert's header on. And Radaby slicing his clearance. It's actually gone onto the roof, I think. No, it's back now. You can see the funny side. Hugely popular character here, of course, Lucas Radaby. Been at Leeds for 9 years now, the South African. Woodgate takes no chances with the half almost complete. Hughes, good ball. Camera. Bit short there for Radaby. Sacco. Oh, brilliant. Still going. Referee was going to blow the whistle. Has, in fact, blown the whistle. Was waiting to see if any real advantage came Leeds' way.
He's getting a standing ovation, isn't he, Sacco? He really has become a firm favourite already with these Leeds United fans.
Smith. Wilcox trying to get in space. Half-time in the first match of the season at Ellen Road. Peter Reid asked for greater commitment and effort from his players than he saw in pre-season. He's had that. He's also had some wonderful moments of skill and pace and imagination from one of his debutants, Lamine Sacco. And he's had a goal from Mark Viduka. It cancelled out the earlier strike that gave Newcastle the lead from the penalty spot, scored by who else? Alan Shearer. Pretty even all round at Ellen Road, and an even scoreline as they go back into the dressing rooms at half-time. It's Leeds United 1, Newcastle United 1.